I thought I'd talk a little bit about another one of those topics for the holidays about being alone. So, like I mentioned, if we're alone, whether single or not around, if we're not with family for the holidays can be can amplify that feeling of loneliness because everyone else is out with family and or doing things with family, with friends. And if we're alone, it can be a very challenging time. But it can also be a very powerful time to dive within, to go within us, to face those parts of ourself that maybe we're able to distract ourselves normally with other things. So the holidays are, a quieter time. Most people have off work, a few days off. And so it can be a time to spend, to get quieter, to go inside more, to go deeper inside. And so if over any time over the holidays we find ourselves struggling with loneliness or struggling with any intense emotion, I've kind of talked about this before about dealing with negative emotions, but in particular on the holidays, if we're feeling lots of loneliness or pain, loss of relationships, loss of family members, maybe I feel that more acutely in the holidays. So anytime we're feeling something intensely, any negative emotion, it's a good time to sit with it, allow ourselves to be with it, allow ourselves to feel it. And it can help to examine it mindfully. So when we're feeling something intensely, emotions often have a seat somewhere in the body. So we can start by identifying where in the body is this emotion living. When I'm feeling loneliness, I feel it as kind of just this pit in the center of my stomach, just this rock, kind of this empty void, this gnawing void. And so identifying it, where in the body is this sensation, and then describe it, define it, give it adjectives. Is it a sharp pain, a dull ache, a gnawing sensation? Does it come in waves? Does it pulse? Is it constant? And so, like I was saying, though, when I feel loneliness, I feel just this pit in my stomach. And it feels like a black hole, like this dense rock in the middle of my stomach. And so by defining it like that, by giving it adjectives, we bring our attention to it and we allow ourselves to experience it fully. We allow ourselves to feel it. And by feeling it, we allow ourselves to process and integrate it. I read in a book one time that all emotions any emotion only lasts for about 30 seconds. I don't know if I buy that fully, but the point was that if we really just give ourselves to any emotion of any intensity, give ourselves fully to it, the longest it'll last is about 30 seconds before it moves through our body. So I don't know about that, but but the point is, the more we allow ourselves to feel it, the more we dive into a sensation like that, the faster we process it. And maybe we can process it enough that we don't continually bring it back up. So oftentimes when we're haunted by emotions, it's because it keeps coming up, right? We'll experience it, but then it goes away. And our brain, our mind, our subconscious keeps bringing it up, keeps bringing it up, keeps bringing it up. And a way to break that cycle is to listen to that part of us that keeps bringing it up and just experience it fully. Just dive into it. Like, okay, brain, you want me to feel this now? Let's feel it. Let's go in 100%. And I've gone into detail about this experiences that I had with diving into, with loneliness in particular. So there's a video on the website if you want more details about that. But it's just one practice to deal with loneliness or any negative emotion that might come up during these holidays, especially if we find ourselves spending a lot of time alone. And that's not a bad thing to spend time alone. I think I'm going to intentionally try to spend time alone this Thanksgiving. I'm not going home to see family till Christmas. And I've been spending a lot of time alone lately, and it's really allowing me to face those parts of myself that I haven't wanted to face before, and just uncover these patterns, like discover these patterns in my mind and get to the root of them and allow them to play out and find out and allow myself to process whatever is at the root of them that causes these patterns to keep coming up, causing these thoughts keep coming up. So there can be a lot of power in spending time alone and diving inside and facing ourselves and really getting to know ourselves.